Well, good morning, and today is Monday, the 18th of April, 2022, and it's tax day. Um, it's about 5:25 on Monday morning, and Remi and I are pulling out here in a few minutes, headed for Chico, California. It's about a 500-mile trip. Behind me is the Port of Long Beach, one of those ports that made the news months ago about backed up container ships, and a lot of that has been alleviated, so that's good. Brought Remi out to the dog yard area here to take care of some final preparations on her behalf before we head out for Chico. And so it's going to be dark when we pull out, but just wanted to give you a heads up as to what we're doing today. Hoping to be there by 6 p.m. tonight. That'd be great. It'd still be light out, and that'd be about 12 hours behind the wheel, so I'll be done by 6 p.m. regardless of whether we're to Chico or not at that point. So have a great day and stay tuned. Well, hi there, and greetings from Chico, California. I'm out at the Chico Airport, which also serves as the home for the trailer equipment for NAVDAG, the North Valley Animal Disaster Group. And so I'm gonna take Remi in and get her fed some dinner, and then I've got a Amazon order that was delivered, so I'm gonna go pick that up. So it took us about 11 hours to get here, but that included a stop for lunch and fuel, as well as, you know, going up over the grapevine, which always takes a while, going over that pass. So stay tuned for this week's adventures. It's another week of teleworking, but then this weekend I'm going to have NAVDAG training. So stay tuned. So this is our setup out here at the Chico Airport, and what I'm doing is basically what we call boondocking, which is you're camping somewhere where there's no facilities really. This motorhome is exceptionally well set up for boondocking. It's got a 7,500 watt generator on board behind the bumper there. I've got water tanks and gray and black water drain tanks on board. I've been here for over 5 days, and I've only used about a third of my fresh water. There's about 80 gallons of fresh water on board. So the fact that I've only used a third of it, 33 gallons, means that I'm doing pretty well. And you know, the water is just front of that rear tire, and the electrical is just behind it. And I'm not currently hooked up to anything here. So it's been a good spot to boondock. Well, good morning, and today is Wednesday, the 20th of April, 2022, and had a little problem. Boy, when I arrived on Monday, and I parked myself here at the NAVDAG yard, I parked the motorhome, and then I parked the Jeep, and I don't know what I did, what possessed me, because I've never done this before. But I left the keys in the ignition with the ignition on. Now the engine wasn't running. I had taken the car out after we arrived and parked it, but left the keys in the ignition. Came out yesterday and it was dead as a doornail. Like I said, I'm not sure what caused it, but because of the location of where I have the Jeep parked and the way the batteries are oriented in the motorhome, there was no way I could jump start the Jeep. I've got a little jump start battery pack, but it was dead. I stuck it on its charger cycle for about 3 hours, and click, click, click was all I got. So I took an Uber and I went to the nearby AutoZone, and I picked up a battery charger. Never had one, never needed one in the past. I've always managed to get somebody to jumpstart me. But because I'm out here at the airport in a industrial lot, by the time I found it yesterday, it was everybody gone home from work for the day. And AAA was about 3 hours out, and I was like, you know what, this is ridiculous. So, any rate, got the Uber, got to AutoZone, got the car charging. So we're gonna try it here in a minute and see if she starts up. Keep your fingers crossed. Well, we have ignition, and the Jeep started. So, yeah, that was scary. The Jeep was on the charger for about 3 hours, and she's now running. So we're gonna let her run for a little bit, and let the alternator kind of top off the battery, and then I'm gonna check the battery levels to make sure that they're okay on distilled water. But at any rate, we're good to go now. I hope you have yourselves a great day, and we'll see you this weekend when I start going to some of my NAVDAG training. Stay tuned. Take care. Bye-bye. And this is a sort of panoramic view out the windows of the motorhome here at the NAVDAG yard here at the Chico Airport. And here's the trusty Jeep after I got the battery charged. It's not the prettiest location, but it's not the most barren either. So, at any rate, that's what I look at each day. So Remi and I are out for a little walk right now, and you can see out there in the distance the NAVDAG storage lot. Out here at Chico Airport, we also have Firestorm, which is a wildland fire suppression company, specialists here in the area. And then we have over here, as we pan towards the tarmac, we see the tower off to the left and some orange and white airplanes out in the distance, and they are used for dumping fire retardant on fires. So we'll take a little closer look at them here in a minute. So here's a closer look at the turboprops that I was showing you from a distance earlier. And then over here off to the right, we've got some additional aircraft that are used for fire suppression. Everything's just kind of all queued up, getting ready for the next fire season. So hopefully the equipment's not going to be needed, but with our water season being at 34% of normal, we are woefully under on our water, and the drought has gotten even more severe. So being the aviation buff that I am, since I'm off work now, it's Friday afternoon, thought I'd come over and check out the Aviation Museum that they have here at the Chico Airport. It's coming up here on the left. We'll go past the Chico Air Attack Base, and then we arrive at the Chico Air Museum. So let's go check it out. And here at the Chico Air Museum, they even have a space exhibit. This is going to eventually look like the interior of a module on the space station. And then they've got a number of pieces to the exhibit here, including some models of early shuttle style aircraft, and models of the space program from Mercury up through the Saturn V.
Go ahead and get in the cockpit and sit down and relax.
Okay. I'm a little tall for this. This is a P2, front end of a Lockheed P2. It was used for anti-submarine warfare and even early nuclear bombers. So it's kind of cool to just come up here and sit down and see what it feels like to be a pilot in something like this. Don't even know what year it was built, but we'll see if we can figure that out. But just very cool to kind of think about it. So here we are in the Chico Air Museum. That's a very cool little museum. They've done an amazingly nice job in here. That F-15 Eagle over there. And lots of aircraft. This helicopter, which I'll show you a different angle here in a minute, but on the other side of this biplane is a helicopter, and that's a Bell helicopter, same model as was flown in the opening of MASH, a TV series from the 70s. I remember back in the day when I used to be into model rockets, we went out to where they made the AIM-9 Sidewinder and saw some real ones. And there's the Bell helicopter I was mentioning earlier, Bell 47. One of my favorite movies. It's a lot of input from the good folks at CAL FIRE on the making of this one. Now I'm headed out to the airplanes that are out here in the outer yard. They've done a nice job of having stuff here for the little ones to get into and climb on, in addition to the static displays. Very nicely done. This airplane is a example of something made by the Soviet Union. You can tell by the CCCP back there on the tail. It was pre-fall of the Berlin Wall. They need to do some work on the wings here. Wings are covered in fabric and probably have succumbed to years of sunlight, baking in the sunlight, and then hailstorms puncturing the wings. there's supposed to be signage out here, but apparently they are redoing the signage, so I'm not aware of what all these different aircraft are. The only one that I'm fairly confident in is the fact that that was an anti-submarine warfare plane. But this is very cool, very interesting. Glad I came out to check this out. Well, unfortunately, there's some communities in California where they don't tax their residents enough, or the residents won't agree to be taxed enough to afford fire protection. So in situations like that, like here in Butte County, the county fire protection district has to be augmented by CAL FIRE, the state fire agency, in order to pay their staff. Otherwise, they would have no fire protection in the county, which is kind of sad. But if you see that sign over there on the building, it says Butte County Fire and Rescue, and there's two emblems. One of them is the Butte County Fire emblem, which is in the lower right, and then CAL FIRE is in the upper left. And that depicts that CAL FIRE is helping to fund Butte County's fire protection activities. Just kind of thought that was a pretty view out here in Chico, looking out into the hills from Cohasset Road here. So NAVDAG's got several of these cargo containers out here for storing various large shelter kennel panels, and I think there's 4 of these storage containers out here. And then we've got this trailer here, which is the small animal shelter logistics trailer that's got everything needed to set up a small animal shelter initially. And then this trailer here, I believe, is the solar panel facility trailer. It's we just received a donation of a solar panel energy setup for NAVDAG so that we can operate without any electricity if need be. And then we've got another trailer that's got small animal shelter stuff in it. A tactical rescue trailer, which has got all the ropes and harnesses and winches for doing extractions of livestock and others that may be in a ravine or a canyon or something. And then, of course, we've got a horse trailer. And then this is the IFA, International Fund for Animal Welfare. This is the command and control trailer. This trailer has got office and communications infrastructure in it. We have another trailer for large animal shelter operations. And then we have a large logistics trailer that can serve as a mobile shelter for small animals, but it can also be configured with nothing inside to where we can use it for hauling cargo and anything else we need, logistically speaking. So that was donated by IFA just recently to North Valley Animal Disaster Group. And we've recently had a number of vehicles labeled with these decals, which look pretty sharp. So as I'm making my way towards my large animal training this morning, I'm coming up behind one of our transport trailers, the North Valley Animal Disaster Group Animal Rescue horse trailer. And that's Tamara. She was bringing a couple of horses down from her house for the training today. So I think that's kind of funny. And I see some other vehicles out here in the distance. So even though I'm early, there's others that were earlier than me. And there's also about 4 cars behind me, all making their way out to the same training this morning. So it should be a good sized class and well attended. Lots of good stuff to learn.
Isn't a really experienced person to tell me, chunk it down some more, you went from step 1 to step 5, let's go beyond that. So just the variety of horses we will see. Mine are both small. And notice how I have it up here, because then I have control over her. If I have it down here, most likely she'd win. Guys, what I like to do is put my arm over the top of them. But I'm always watching. She's like read the book this morning. She did bump her nose in the trailer, so it's a little. So then I'll show each of you how to do this knot if you haven't done it before. But you come down through the back, around the back, and you'll see he's very different. So when you're leading them, you kind of want to know where they are at all times. You don't want them right behind you, because you don't want them to jump on you if they get scared. So it's just loose in this hand. Talk to him.
Usually we're doing so many.
That I don't. I know that's laughing.
There's towels if you don't see one in here. You got here, you're doing a bunch of feral cats. Grab extra towels.
Well, good morning, and today is Sunday, the 24th of April, 2022, and I'm out for another day of training. Today is large animal shelter operations, and then when I get back from that, Remi and I are pulling up stakes and headed to Oregon House, which is a little south and east of here, but it's a Thousand Trails Park, and we'll be able to have hookups, so that'll be a good thing. No, I don't mind boondocking, but it's nice to have hookups so that I don't have to run the generator quite so much. And even at that, I've only had to run it for maybe a couple hours a day, an hour in the morning, hour in the evening. So that's the plan for today, and there'll be some snippets probably of the large animal shelter operations training today. I don't put too much dialogue in it because I don't want to interrupt what the instructors are doing. But stay tuned, and we'll have some of that, and then we'll be pushing off to Oregon House. So here we go. So I'm making my way through Chico towards my training at the Large Animal Evac Center for NAVDAG, and just wanted to give you a sense as to what the community looks like here. Chico had a large air base operations here in World War II, so there's a lot of homes that date back to the earlier 1900s. Your typical small town, at least in California. So, it's good stuff. So I'm out here at Camelot in Oroville, and it's an equestrian center out here in Butte County, and this is where NAVDAG has their emergency large animal shelter, and we've got a couple of buildings over there that have equipment in them, and yet more rolling stock. There's a emergency large animal response unit trailer in there, and we'll take a look at that in a minute. But yeah, we're out here today to get some training on the large animal shelter operations. So these are the NAVDAG stalls set up out here at Camelot.